talking about the defense minister. Let me play this video, then we'll react to it. Sorry, viewers. Unfortunately, this video, we can't play this video because I don't know, there's a glitch here. So Barrister, let me just ask you the question. I wanted you to react to a video. This video had to do with the governor of Zamfara, the current governor of Zamfara State. He was really out against the immediate past, his predecessor, immediate past governor, Matawali, right? Is it Matawali or whatever is his name? Who is now the defense minister. What an irony, the defense minister. And the present governor was actually accusing the defense minister of being responsible as a governor, of being responsible for the banditry menace in the state. That in fact, that it got to an extent of even accommodating in the government house bandits. In fact, he said so many things, and to me, I see that as so courageous. Now, that led me to asking myself this question: why the hell was because it wasn't, what he said wasn't news to me, and I think to several people and so many people, because even when Matawali truly was the governor, we had all the reports of him being actually of hobnobbing with terrorists or bandits, sort of. So in fact, we were told that he wasn't just hobnobbing; he seemed to be in control of them, sort of. So and now the immediate the successive government, his successor, is saying the same thing, and he's hitting on that so hard, and that makes me ask this question: what the hell is going on here? Why do we have a vice? Now, remember, Shetima, the vice president, was accused of this too, and there was it wasn't even just accusation. There were several evidences that were released online, that for us to videos or video evidence of where he was discussing with these Boko Haram guys or whatever. In the case of Shetima, we had several evidences. Even at that, we still have him right now as the vice president of Nigeria. Now we're having the same issue now with Matawali, the immediate past governor of Zamfara State, who was accused. I don't know if in his own case I don't know if in his own case was like that, like that of Shetima, where we had evidences that actually were released. So I don't know, I'm not aware of that, but for us to have a sitting governor actually doubling down on this accusation, it obviously means that, of course, he's the chief security officer of the state. He must have heard and seen so many things that actually transpired or went on during the past governor's administration. So obviously, a chief security officer of a state, a word or a comment from the chief security of the state, of the chief security officer of the state, can never be taken lightly. So if we have this scenario going on, why do we have a suspect, a bandit suspect, or a terrorism suspect being appointed as the defense minister, for God's sake? I don't understand. It's like giving a dog bone to keep, to save, a sort of. I don't know what you mean. What's your opinion on this? Because this is just crazy. We have a vice president who is a supporter or a sponsor of terrorism, and we have a defense minister who is the same thing, vice and the defense minister. So we basically have our government officially sponsoring terrorism, banditry, and insecurity as a whole. The last time we saw Matawali putting on camouflage, I don't know if he has the right as a minister, as a common minister. I know that the president is the only one that have that right to put on that official military military uniform as a commander-in-chief. Yeah, he can do that. But I don't know if a minister has that. I saw him when I saw. I said, what kind of dirty joke was that? That he had to be on. He had to be in military uniform for God, official military uniform. Barrister, please, can you have a take on all I have said so far?
Well, you have to go back a little. When Matawale, by the way, Matawale is the Minister of State for Defense. So when he was governor of Zamfara State, and don't forget, apart from the other states, Kaduna, Plateau, Benue, Zamfara has emerged as the most notorious case of insecurity in the Northwest, and by extension in the whole of Nigeria. What has been happening in that place is just out of this world. Basically, it is the fight between the Fulanis and the Hausas. The insurgency is along those lines. Mainly the insurgents or bandits, as you call them, are Fulanis, and the people fighting them on the ground as civilians are the Hausas. That is how the whole thing started from that axis. The Hausas used to have vigilante groups that attack the Fulanis, and the Fulanis now created the bandits to attack the vigilantes. That's how the whole thing snowballed into what it is today. By the time
Matawale is a Fulani man, right? Yeah, of course, that name sounds so, yes.
By the time Matawale came into power, he took on his predecessor, Yari, and he went along with some of the bandits by offering what he called carrots. They were invited to the government house in a sort of peace accord. Most of them were now given some largesses, including hillocks, pig shop, and other things, and some money. It appeared that those olive branches did not work, because every time such accord was reached, it was not worth the paper that it was written on. But the bandits got away with Hilux vehicles and with money that was given to them by the government. So it's a difficult thing to know whether it's really sponsoring them or cahoting with them, or it was a genuine intention to see, because there was a debate. If you remember the Shegumi, who came out and was very prominent and was telling the government of Nigeria, was telling the northern governors that you cannot defeat this insurgent. Make peace with them. Deal with them along the lines that President Jonathan did with the Niger Delta militants. Call them in and discuss a settlement with them. He was all over the place that time. And it could be that Matawale felt if he went to that and the work, everything will be well, there will be peace. But there was no peace. Now, the current governor, and again, you have to discount and be cautious because of the way politics is played in Nigeria. He is from a different party. Matawale is a different party. So politics can be immediately read into his own statement. But in a decent society, where we take things serious, the statement by the governor, a sitting governor, who is the chief security officer of the state, who on assuming office must have had security briefings, must have also had some other, probably documents and other expenditure that was made that are not explainable. Apparently, he has some information. So in a decent society, the government would have looked into it carefully. But remember the government we are dealing with. Allegations against anybody does not make them change their mind or take the matter serious. The current Minister of Defense, Bagudu, who was the governor of Sokoto State, was alleged, or in fact, that one, his case was even more clear, was the one that was laundering money for Abacha during Abacha's regime. It is well known. At a point during Obasanjo's government, he held on to certain monies that were recovered, Abacha's money, and insisted that a percentage must be given to him. The government under Obasanjo entered into an agreement with him, released a percentage of the money to him before he was able to give details of some of the financial dealings that led to recovery of some money. So there was this thing that he was the one laundering, keeping money for Abacha abroad and everything. Nobody bothered. He became minister. So I have no confidence in this government that when something serious like that comes up, they will actually dig deep and unearth the truth or otherwise of it. Is the politics will take the center stage, will take the upper hand. Is a politician supporting Tinubu, is a politician supporting APC, and that in Nigerian terms will take the upper hand.
Well, it's so sad because just like I rightly said earlier, if a governor, whether party, opposing party or not, a governor, just like we both agree, chief with the chief security officer makes a comment like that, he's not just making a comment. His comment should and must be taken seriously because he has seen, heard, and read what ordinary Nigerian or other people have not. So I think he may be in the opposition, or I think it is germane. It is important for us to know that in every rumor there must be an element of truth. That is just because banditry in every state. Look, let me be frank with you. Just like Abacha will always say, Abacha said when he was alive, the head of state, and that if insecurity or insurgency lasts for 24 hours, it automatically means by default that government is involved in that insecurity. And the same thing, even though that is on national level, but the same thing applies to states too. If insecurity, it may not be lasting for 24 hours, but at least, but as long as insecurity persists in a state, I am telling you, there are government players that are involved in this insecurity. So we all know that during Matawali, this insecurity in Zamfara state skyrocketed. It started from Yari's government, and Matawali just took it to a different level. And of course, his successor is now coming out to actually lay claims, which in my own opinion, I take him seriously. I think I may not, even if don't believe everything he said, I believe substantial amount of what he said, actually, and that is just the reality. And knowing the Tinubu government, just like you noted, they don't care. They don't care. All they are after is the political angle, what benefits them politically. If it doesn't benefit them politically, that is when you see them acting. But whatever benefits them politically, regardless of the repercussion, regardless of the optics, regardless of what the public says, regardless of the opposition to their decision, they just go all in. They don't care. You see, that's the problem. They don't go. That is the foundation of today's APC. When this issue of Muslim ticket came up, the whole country went agog. It kind of went blazing in protest, in contention of that decision. against that decision. And what happened? They still went ahead and pulled it through. And since then, it's been the same thing. This is the modus operandi of this Tinubu's criminal government. That when they do anything or they intend to do something and the thing filters into the public, or even if they have taken an action and people criticize and try to whatever, in fact, what they usually do, that is their modus operandi, they double down against people or the popular decisions, the popular opinions. That is the problem. That is the modus operandi of this government. And that is why I honestly, I label it a criminal government, and it's not just, and that is rightly so. That does the truth that Bola Tinubu's government is a criminal government. There's no doubt about that. His entire life is criminal. Of course, what do you expect? When the foundation is faulty, what can we do? What can the righteous do? And of course, definitely, there is nothing we can do. A criminal will always produce crime. That does the truth. If you are a criminal leader, you will produce crime. And that is just, I remember during that Babangida era, Babangida was into this kind of fraud. Everybody knows that. It was during Babangida time we had this issue of fraudsters, what we call 419. But that was their peak moment. 419, when we talk of 419, it was during Babangida's time. It started during Babangida's time, and Abacha was the one who ended it. Sort of. When Abacha came, Abacha went. Some of them, he took them out by killing them. Went on rampage and cleaning up the house from insecure. Oh my! Honestly, while we are so many criticisms against Abacha because for looting Nigeria, that man actually had a good intention, as in my own opinion. He did some things, so many things, better than Babangida, of course, sort of. And he had good intention for Nigeria. So, and during his time, this issue of insecurity was not there. The issue of crime was not as much as it was during Babangida's time. Sort of. So that is justice. So if you have someone with a criminal mind heading the country, what do you expect? And that is just it. In Tinubu's case, it's even worse, 100 times worse than Babangida, because Babangida's own was a criminal mind, and he perpetrated some fraud, some looting of the or whatever, and he allowed crime to fester. But in the case of Tinubu's own he participated in crime itself. To me, I consider him a crime lord, and now he's the one presiding over our country, for God's sake. This is unbelievable. Okay.